nightmare of a future where Tortuga actually has power and is the high priest of Helm. And we're trying to figure out our way.
Lots of power.
We're currently in Guy Furyball's place, but he's not there, and there are riddles and logic puzzles to solve. Room, pillars, doors. Oh, and we also have Chip the squirrel.
You do.
Oh.
And both Sax and Kit are non-existent as far as y'all are concerned at the moment. Sax, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay. Finish pulling this one last little thing up right here. Get me. Everybody's. Aha! Grab a picture. Session chat. And everyone had taken a long rest. Sax, if you would like to take a long rest to make sure that you had appropriately done that before.
Isn't he dead?
He is, but you know.
It's the longest of rest.
He's currently. RPG is currently here, so Sax, you know, technically could take a nice long rest because he's taken a dirt nap. And back towards here. So, like Gur had mentioned, you all went to visit Guy Furyball, and his place kind of seemed overrun by a lot of dust, a lot of nothingness, and they walked in, they found themselves in this room, and there are, as you can see, pillars, 8 pillars total. There are 4 doors, one of which Tekken punched through, and it led to them having to attack the thing because it made its way out. So there are currently 3 doors remaining. If I recall, it was door number 2 that was broken down, but please correct me if I'm wrong or if nobody knows.
I think it was door number 1.
Door number one it is. You knocked door number 1 down. Again, you found yourselves in this room. The pillars have a bunch of handprints on them. But again, Tekken just bypassed that by looking at the door, focusing, and making the door wish it never put a barrier between it and the room. So this is where we were left off.
All right, I seem to remember that the pillars got warm when we used the handprints.
Correct.
I will try the handprints again to see if anything else happens besides the warming.
Okay. You place your hand on which one of the pillars? I had numbered them last time. Oh, why did I not?
Oh, 10 o'clock.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that works. Fantastic. So you place your hand on the one at 10 o'clock, and it does seem to get warm, just like you remember from last time. Nothing else appears to happen.
Any other markings or graphics or colors in the room?
As I had mentioned, you see a lot of handprints on all the pillars. Um, you notice something that you do see though is each pillar. So I remember y'all gave me a investigation check close to the end last time. You do notice that each pillar has its own set. Well, not its own set, but especially Gur would notice that no handprint repeats on any of the other pillars. So if a handprint is on one of the pillars, it is not found on any of the others. The pillars
I'm gonna go touch another handprint.
Okay. So we have, let's see, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock. As far as the pillars are concerned, based off that picture that is up there. Gur is currently touching the one at 10. Which one would you like to touch, Tortuga?
The one at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. You go over. Gur, the first thing you walk over Tortuga and you touch it, and the pillar starts to feel warm. You, however, Gur, notice that when Tortuga touches that pillar, the one that you have your hand on actually begins to get warmer.
Hey, everybody touch a pillar. This one's getting warmer when Tortuga touched that one.
Does it matter which one I touch?
We have.
I have
one
no
more person
idea.
remaining.
Okay, I'll touch a pillar.
Which one would you like to touch?
One that isn't being touched by anybody else right now.
Correct. Which one?
The 1 o'clock one? I don't know.
Tortuga is currently touching the 1 o'clock,
Oh, 2
and
o'clock.
Gur is currently 2 o'clock. Okay. You go ahead and you touch the one that is at 2 o'clock. And yours starts to feel warm. However, both Gur and Tortuga notice that they do not actually get any warmer. So the two that, So Gur and Tortuga, you notice that your pillars don't get warmer. Tekken, you do notice when you touch yours at 2 o'clock that it does feel warm to you as you place your hand on.
Well, that doesn't quite seem to work. We could just do trial and error on the pattern.
I could just punch the doors down.
Or we could just punch the doors down, you know?
Which one are you going for, Tekken?
The second door.
Second door? Give me a strength check.
Strength check.
I want a ready fireball, please.
Fireball is ready. Tekken. You rear back, not wanting to be of the puzzle-solving type, and punch the second door, similar to how you hit the first door. And a familiar kablam happens as your fist makes contact with the door, and the door crumbles. behind this door. Well, you can't see anything at the moment because some of the dust is kind of clearing from the door, having been disintegrated, and you get the feeling that this door has been shut for quite a long time because it is dusty. And as the dust begins to settle, you notice that there are 3 pictures along the wall. And you also notice on the ground there is a skeleton, and this skeleton has a very familiar looking lyre that looks like it was clutching probably in its final moments. You also notice the dark figure that is currently leaning over this skeleton. And unfortunately for you, the skeleton, or this figure also notices you, and it says, "Aha! Finally, someone has let me out of this prison." Everybody roll for initiative.
Fireball.
You have readied Fireball. What is the save? 19? 18? 17?
15.
15. Dexterity, yeah?
I'm using the wand of Fireball at level 9.
Level 9 Wand of Fireball. Okay.
Well, it was nice meeting Chip.
Let's see. Dexterity. A 15.
Yes.
So, you instantly cast Fireball straight at where this figure is. Tekken, please give me a save against the Fireball as well.
Okie dokie.
Wow, that rolls. Well, it didn't do that bad. Lots of
Ugh.
2s and 1s.
I'm gonna use my Dragon Soul on that because that's bad. That's not a good roll.
Okay, you can go ahead and do that.
Oh, there we go. 15.
Oh, perfect. Look at that. So you save and only take half damage, but because you are a monk, your half damage is reduced to no damage. And this creature ends up taking some damage. You see as the fire on... Yeah, you see as the fire on it kind of catches and then extinguishes quickly. And have our initiative roll of Gur and Tekken and Tortuga. Please give me your initiative roll. Oof. Look at 12. So, first up, we have, well, Tortuga already had his surprise round from readying Fireball. Tekken, you are up first. That will hit.
Okay, spend in a key point. And 2 more unarmed strikes.
Good.
Oh, was that a 1? Dang it.
That is a 1. You
Alright, that's my turn.
You go ahead and go to punch forward. And slightly miss. And instead find yourself stepping on the skeleton that creature was originally crouched over. And you hear a little snap and see that you broke the tibia in half. The leg is no longer intact. Up next, we have Gur. Wait, no, we don't.
We do?
We do not. I just realized how low that roll was. I was actually looking at Tekken's again. Next up, we have the creature. And the creature looks over at Tortuga, who actually was the one that cast the fireball. And this thing points a finger towards you, Tortuga. And you suddenly feel yourself racked with pain. Please give me a Constitution save.
Eh?
Let's see. 17.
Eh?
17? Enough. A 17 just so happens to save you from this.
Yay!
Slightly. You get to roll
Yay!
some dice. Please, Tortuga, take 65 damage, but you saved. So instead, as you feel this pain racking your body, you remember all the trials and the pain and the previous times you've dealt with stuff similarly. And through pure force of will, you manage to push yourself through the pain, and instead, you only take 32 necrotic damage.
Yay!
And next up, we have, you have already gone because you had your surprise round, Tortuga. Finally, we have Gur.
Okay. Time to attack.
That hits.
And then since Tekken was next to it, I can do this.
Nice.
Now another attack.
That'll
Not
hit.
sure. Oh, okay. Bonus action will be an attack.
Okie dokie. That'll hit.
Then I am done.
Okie dokie. Sounds. On me, Firefox. Please don't do that. Thank you. Come on. There we go. We're good. Last up, we have a tiny squirrel who holds out his hand and a small little blade appears. And he chucks the blade towards the creature. And hits! And deals a little bit of damage. And then, after he does, the blade makes contact. Makes a small, tiny, adorable little of a kaboom. Deals 32 sneak attack from his thrown weapon. And lastly, he is going to do one health. And the creature, let's make this roll. Wisdom saving throw of the thing that you all are currently fighting. Oh, this isn't good. It makes it unfortunate, but that's okay. Chip attempts to help out a little bit more.
Wait a minute.
But,
Didn't he
yeah.
have that luck thing to like protect me when I did stupid stuff or like effed up?
uh,
Well, I guess I just stepped on the skeleton though, so nothing happened. So whatever.
yeah, you're good. We'll save it for something that's important.
Yes.
So, and not funny. Let's see. Oh, so actually, don't even have to worry about that because that ain't a reaction. So, yes, Chip can then also follow up with his other tiny blade. Makes an attack with it and hits, dealing a little bit more damage. The creature currently does not look too well at all. And with that, it's Tekken's turn again.
Okie dokie.
That'll hit. That'll hit as well.
Okay, spend my key point.
And actually, before you even have to spend a key point,
Oh.
the creature gives one final and falls over dead. Congratulations! You have successfully defeated this thing behind that door that you have punched your way through. You still do notice the skeleton that's on the floor. That does look quite as far as the loot goes. Unfortunately, the leg is now broken. But yes, that is where we currently are with this.
I would like to bash through the next door with my hammer, please.
You want to bash through the next door with your hammer. Okay. Go ahead. Which door do you pick? We've hit door number 1 and door number 2. There's door number 3 and door number 4.
Oh, is there a body to loot?
There is a body, but there is nothing on the body. And other than the not a loot, but a liar that's on the skeleton.
I will pick up the lyre.
Okay.
Not pick up, but examine the liar.
Okay. 1 second.
Investigate the liar? Seek insight into the liar.
I don't think you're allowed to just run through your character sheet.
I'm not running through it. I'm cherry picking.
You would like to
He wants to animal handle the liar.
yeah, go ahead and give me a for you, Tortuga, give me a I'm gonna go with an insight check.
What?
Nice. So you look at this and you realize that this is it's actually a special magical lyre, and it's called a Cli lyre, a CLI lyre. And it seems strangely familiar to you. You're sure, in fact, that you've seen it before a long time ago.
Does the skeleton have horns?
It does, actually.
My shocked face.
I'm gonna just sing a little ditty on the liar.
Okay.
Oh.
About Jack and Diane.
Perhaps. Actually, I'm gonna do Devil Went Down to the Dungeon.
Oh, okay, that sounds good.
He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind. He was way behind. He was willing to make a deal.
Okay.
You do know you have to like make a wisdom save if you try playing that without being attuned to it, right?
Well, that's one of his better
I do
stats.
not.
He does.
He does now.
Yeah, you can give me a wisdom saving throw, Tortuga. Twice, actually.
Okay.
One for Jack and Diane, and then give me another one for Devil Went Down to Dungeon. Success! Look at that turtle.
All right, so if you're done playing with Sax's instrument, you can either resurrect him or gather his stuff and bring him with us until we find another way to resurrect him.
Let me see what the cheapest resurrection spell I got is.
Wow. Okay.
I was actually looking through all your spells, Tortuga. And based off of everything that I see, I don't see any like specific resurrections. Which is really funny. But because of how I've mentioned, I do spells that you have to prepare. You're a cleric.
Hey, I could do Animate the Dead and we could have a zombie sax. That could be fun.
How long does that last for?
Probably not long enough. All right, I cast wow, okay, never mind.
Wait, but would any of his resurrection spells even work?
Interesting question.
Are you going to resist being
I don't wanna go
resurrected?
through-
It's not a matter of resisting. Like, from my understanding, there's usually all these stupid rules when it comes to spells like this. So,
Yeah, like a time limit and stuff.
It actually depends on
The DM.
mostly the DM
Yeah.
and also on the what's the word I'm looking for? The spell itself. Sometimes, it's within an
I cast
hour.
Animate the Dead.
Okay.
Wow.
We're doing zombie sex.
How does the spell even work?
I really hope it has a "you will not attack the spellcaster" rule, because
So in order
Any of
for
our
it
it,
spells ever
does.
have those kind
It
of
does.
rules?
interesting. So this spell actually takes a minute. And you spend a minute, and Chip actually looks and says, "Ooh!" during that minute. Are you trying to bring this body back? It's never worked out well in the past. Never, 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 never.
I mean, sure.
Sax,
So
you so, its bones. The skeleton begins to animate. Albeit a little poorly because one of the legs is broken. You all see the skeleton animate. Sax, you suddenly find yourself looking at your teammates. And the last thing you remember was being inside the library. And now you see a dungeon-ish looking thing before you, and yeah, you see everybody but Kit. You also look
cool.
down and notice you are purely skeleton.
Cool.
Hey, Sax. So we kind of got 24 hours to find a more permanent way to bring you back before you die again.
Well, I'd like to know how I was dead in the first place, but I guess that's something to worry about for later.
yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we have the answer to that.
Hell.
And you kind of have to do everything I tell you in the next 24 hours.
Well, unfortunately, in this form, I can't really do much of anything, so that's not really gonna do you much good.
So, Chip actually looks and goes, "Huh. Do you know this skeleton?"
Why is there a talking squirrel?
Hi, I'm
We
Chip.
got him to replace Kit.
I've never talked to a skeleton before.
Yes,
I've
well,
been
I've never
told
talked
about
to a
talking to
squirrel
a
before,
skeleton.
so I guess we're all having a bunch of firsts right now. Also, you don't have to like escort this thing too, do we? Because the last time, just
Oh
Thanks.
no, he's a party member.
oh,
Thing, I'm a squirrel. You mentioned it. Then you call me. My feelings are hurt.
I didn't
Skeletons are mean.
didn't mean to hurt your feelings. It's just
No, that's
you have
just
to
sex.
understand. It's been a it's been a very interesting adventure for us. So
I got this. Chip, when Sax hurts your feelings, that means he likes you.
that's not
Oh.
what that means.
That's his
Okay.
friend language.
Wait, this is Sax?
Yes. Or his skeleton.
have so
You're
many
shorter than
questions.
I remember.
It's the limp. His legs used to be longer than
Thinner,
Tekken
too.
stepped on them.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, quite. I was always told very, very horny for the horns, but not very bony. Weird.
Well, obviously this isn't my actual body, so s-
Uh, uh, um, um. I can help with that. There was an owl that I met a long time ago, and then I talked to the owl, and I signed my name in the book of an owl.
is the Owl of
And then I was
Necromancer.
He
Yes.
was. Everybody keeps asking me that question. Does everybody know this owl?
No, we're just
Unfortunately,
not stupid. But that aside, why would you sign someone's book just because they tell you to, Tekken?
They didn't tell me to. They
Because you
asked.
always should sign somebody's book.
They said that they would give me a golden acorn if I signed the book. They said I might need it someday. I've been carrying it in my pocket, but I'm a squirrel, so I don't have pockets.
Oh boy.
So I've been carrying it in my cheek
Have
pocket.
you been, have you been carrying it in your prison pocket?
What's a prison
So,
pocket?
first
No.
of all, you are not going to say things like that. Especially not to a squirrel. What is wrong with you? And two, why the hell are we in a dungeon?
We're in Fiery's
Well-
place.
What?
It was a secret room we found. There's an elevator.
Sex.
Or
This
something.
Sex.
place was a garden
Eat
the
the
last
acorn.
time we were there.
Yeah, it's years since then, apparently.
This
Wait,
is so
you said
weird.
years. Like time travel?
Well, we time traveled. I'm not sure if you did. And in this remarkable future, you're looking at the High Priest of Helm.
Who? The squirrel?
I bow.
No, not me. The turtle.
Tortuga? I feel like I should have a headache. I can't because.
I have
Oh.
one for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Here, I'll help. And Chip reaches into sure enough, his little cheek pocket, and he pulls out a golden acorn. And he says, "So, the owl mentioned something, something, something acorn,
Well,
and
that's
said I might need it. And it tasted really good, so I've kept it in my cheek pocket for a long time." And I remember him saying, I thought he was talking about it could flavor like a steak if I was going to eat a steak that had bones in it, but he said something about it being used on bones to help. I thought he said tenderize, but instead I guess he said, yeah, I can't remember the word he used. In any case, I've tried to like crush it and use it on food, but then I found out one day that the top unscrews, and he takes the little golden acorn and the little top of the acorn he unscrews. And he's like, there was a lot of powder in this at one point. I thought it was flavor seasoning, and I tried to eat it, and it tasted really, really bad. And then I thought maybe I need to sprinkle it on food, and I sprinkled it on my steak, and the steak started mooing, and it was really weird, and I didn't want the steak anymore, so I threw it out of the tree. And then I put the top back on. But maybe if I sprinkle it on you, you'll start mooing. And without saying a further word, he actually very quickly chucks the acorn at you, and the powder gets all over you. And you start feeling a burning sensation.
have creams for that.
Doesn't prison pocket. It doesn't really hurt because at the moment you're just a skeleton. But the rest of you probably assume this might begin to hurt because you see out of nowhere, muscle and sinew starts appearing and wrapping itself around Sax's bones, and he starts looking more and more kind of like a meaty zombie. And now this is the point, because you're feeling nerves, that you start feeling a lot of pain as this is happening, and then your skin starts regrowing, your horns repair themselves. Unfortunately, you still have a limp because your leg is not currently attached. You do notice, though, that your leg seems to also have repaired itself on the ground. And it's hopping about, maybe looking for a body. I don't know.
Can I
But
Could I
grab that
try to
leg and
pick
put it
up
in
his
the right
leg?
spot?
you can attempt to, yes.
Wait, I'm good at medicine. I should try to do this.
Feel like shouldn't.
You can attempt.
I get out the duct tape.
Oh boy.
You have duct tape?
It's made of ducks.
Literal.
I know,
Wah.
and that's why I'm
Wah.
worried about it. And I don't want to know where he got this. But sure, you have duct tape. Yeah. So Tortuga, do first off, Sax, do you let Tortuga attempt this? Because
I mean, I have nothing left to lose.
you do have bodily autonomy. So, um, so yeah, Tortuga, you walk up. Give me a medicine check. Just cause.
Wait, do my clothes regenerate after all of this? Because
They do. Oh God, they do not. 'Cause the clothes are not part of you. It's a good question.
Just for
Um,
Sax's sake, I'm going to use my inspiration on that.
Okay. Go ahead.
you know what? I can just do it myself. I mean, this is just honestly.
So, Tortuga goes to attach the leg to you. And it feels a little painful, and you hear kind of a snap, and you see that Tortuga is quickly zip 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 and duct taping, because I don't know what duct tape actually would be like for you, Tortuga. But there you go. Starts duct taping your leg back onto your body. You kind of feel like you have control over it, but at the same time, it almost feels like it might have a mind of its own slightly, and will, for hilarious effect later on, get into that. But as of right now, you
And I healed
have
it myself.
you have you. Maybe later. As of right now, doesn't feel not really much you can do about it. You do, for some reason, have a distinct feeling that Tekken is to blame for this.
And is always
Not
the
sure
blame
why,
for
though.
everything.
That's probably the reason why.
Oh,
You do notice, though, that Tekken has not Tekken, Tortuga. They both started with a T. Tortuga has your Clylyre. Your Clyre.
Can I have my Clyre back, please?
Hey, is this the one that set stuff on fire?
It is. Can I have it back? You can't even use it. It's
I
a
guess
bard weapon.
I guess so.
Just,
Okie dokie.
well, I mean, I guess the bright side is I'm not dead anymore, although one has to wonder how I died in the first place. So,
Yes,
that's
quite the mystery.
fun. Hmm. Do you guys have any idea how you got time traveled?
Yeah, we were magically teleported.
By who?
Architect
The
or
archivist.
archivist.
Why the blazes did he send you guys to the future? And on top of that, why would he leave Kit and myself behind?
Because you both died in this timeline.
Yeah, but that
They
shouldn't
wrote books
technically
about it.
stop
Well,
him
sort of.
from.
They sort of wrote books about it. You see, there were two very brave adventurers who sacrificed themselves to finally seal off the
That
final
doesn't
evil.
sound like me at all. That can't be right.
It sounds like someone who didn't know you wrote about you.
Someone definitely did not know me. That still
I mean,
doesn't answer the question though, because I mean, technically, even if I did die in this timeline, if the archivist teleported us, I technically still existed when he did. So that shouldn't have changed anything here.
Maybe mistakes were made.
Clearly. Why exactly did you guys come to Fairy Ball's place anyway?
Well, on the one hand, he's a powerful magic person that we know. And on
Yeah,
the other, an alternate version of Tortuga wrote a note saying for us to go here.
But
Tortuga
you don't
wrote a
know
letter
that.
to
I didn't
himself.
tell you what was in the note.
No, you didn't read the note. You said the note said that we had to go here. You also licked
okay.
the you also licked the note, and I don't know what the outcome of that particular thing was, but assuming you being you, he licked things.
So Tortuga didn't
It
mention the note
tasted of
said to
carrots.
find Fairy Ball. Tortuga just said we have to find Fairy Ball, but you did see Tortuga lick the note, and then as soon as Tortuga read the note, then he said we need to see Fairy Ball. So there's probably a
plus
really
two.
good.
Yeah, I was inferring.
It tasted of carrots.
Hey. Okay.
We need to go. I burst down the
Yeah.
other door.
And you did I have you give me a strength check yet? No. Yes? No, you haven't. Give me a strength check,
No.
Tortuga.
But seriously though, my clothes. Is that we gonna resolve that?
So yeah, let's we can do it. So over in the distance you hear I'm gonna say this and then you can override me, Tortuga, because it is your character. So as Sax is over here saying, "Can I have some clothing?" In the distance, you hear Tortuga go, "Hiya!" Similar to how Tekken's been breaking down the doors, hoping to try to break down the door, and then you hear a loud thud, followed by "ah!" and you look over and the door is still standing. As far as the clothing.
Hey, wait. I actually have an extra set of necromancer robes.
That works too.
The rest of my equipment.
You see that Chip is actually packing away a tiny little outfit that he was getting ready to hand over to you, Sax. And he looks at Tortuga and says, "Oh, you have something, Tortuga?"
I do. I got it off of what's his name? What was his name? The dude with the funny name.
Jim. The K.
Jim.
Tim with a P.
Jim with a K.
Mhm.
Yes.
You want me to wear the robes of the creepy necromancer that you guys trusted to cause all this mess in the first place?
No, that was Magpie.
I mean, you could walk around naked.
I mean, might be okay with that.
I got this. And you see Chip reach back into a tiny little pouch he has, which you notice is a tiny, adorable little version of a bag of holding.
Oh.
And he pulls out a set of robes. Not a set of robes, a set of clothing. I'm still thinking about the gym robes. and he hands it to you, Saxon. It looks a very shiny, silvery material, but you notice it as glamour weave, and you know that if you wear it and you think real hard, you can actually cause glamour weave clothing to look however you want it to.
Beautiful. Thanks, Chip. Already more useful than Kit, and I've known you for all of 5 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Still some difficulties, not an upgrade.
Can't
in
wait
every
till I
field.
can meet this Kit. I've read about Kit.
Then why would you want to meet him?
I cast Sacred Flame on the door.
Why are you still trying to break down that door?
When we have a Tekken.
We literally have a Tekken. Like right here.
You cast Sacred Flame?
Yes?
Okay. You cast Sacred Flame. The fire burns on the door, and now the door's on fire. Nothing has changed.
That is there's a flaming door. What was actually the plan there?
There was no plan there.
Door go boom.
Yes, well, did it go boom, Tortuga? Did it go boom? Seriously, this guy is the high priest of an entire order of people now?
I think he must be some sort of ceremonial figurehead.
That sounds about...
Then again, they were
Or
writing
actually-
on the walls in crayon, so
You
I implemented
actually
that, I can tell.
see Chip point a finger out and say, "Oh, I was taught this too." And he points a little finger at the flame, and it goes poof, and the flame on the door is gone.
See? Already more useful. Well, I'm assuming there's either some type of mechanism to open this door, or you guys have just been punching doors down this entire time.
there might be some sort of puzzle thing with these pillars, but it's probably just faster to let Tekken knock the doors down.
Works for me.
He broke the door down. Okay, Tekken, give me another strength check.
That's an
You
athletics
take-
check. That's not a strength check.
Same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
You're right. Wait, 5 plus 6. What? Hold on a second. That's weird. Why is Tekken's... Oh. Duh. Strength. athletics. Oh, for some reason I thought your strength was high, but it's actually your dexterity. That's what I... Okay. Yeah, so first, before Tekken walks up to the door, you see Tekken do a bunch of flips, and he wants to try to look cool, probably in front of Sax. I don't know. It's Tekken's choice on what's happening here, as he's jumping around, being all athletic. And then fumbles ever so slightly and goes headfirst into the door. Boom! Which, again, because of Tekken's many years practicing the art of combat, breaks the door down. In this door, you see a chest.
Son of a... You know what? Oh. Immediately assume that it's a mimic. Could actually be a treasure chest. It's fine. Fine. Oh, fine. Breathe.
Just like that, Tekken.
Breathe. Well, somebody else touch that thing, because I'm not doing it.
I want to go investigate.
Okay. What's your end goal with the investigation? Just try to figure out about
To see if it grows teeth and tries to eat us.
Okay, how do you go about doing that?
Knock
You go
on
over,
it
touch,
or lick
touch,
it.
touch it, lick it, talk to it.
If it gives you
I
tongue
cast
back,
Toll
then
of the
it's good
Dead
chance
at
it
it.
smell. Why would you use? Why would you not? Why?
Cause it won't cause it to go boom, even if it's something like if it's an actual chest, it won't hurt it.
You sure?
It causes necrotic damage. If anything, it'll just make the wood rot away.
Works.
Surprisingly, that is exactly what happens. You start seeing some of the wood that is on the chest begin to rot away, and you start seeing some of the metal that forms the frame of the chest begins to rust slightly.
Oh, so it's a real chest. Well, then let's
And-
open it.
And then the chest gives a tiny little boom into the air and lands back on the ground.
I'm confused by what the chest just did.
I was just about to say. I was like, wait. It jump.
Did the chest jump of its own accord? Is that what I'm hearing?
It looked like the chest gave a little jump into the air and landed back on
That's
the floor.
suspicious. Okay, Tortuga.
I'll
Just
ready
knock
a
on
word
it.
of radiance.
You're readying a word of radiance. Okay.
As I go and knock on the chest.
Okay. You knock on the chest, and it is a chest.
Oh. Well, then why did it jump? Chests don't jump. Not a thing, is it? They're jumping chests in the future.
Maybe.
That's weird. Fine. Let's open it.
Hey, wait, before I open it, I do, what's that new thing I can do? Corona of Light.
Okay.
What does that do?
That's your. I forget spell or class feat.
That's my new spamming spell that I'm going to do from now on for eternity.
My.
Class feat.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So you all look at Tortuga, and suddenly Tortuga starts glowing, and Chip goes, "Oh, the presence of Helm on
mean-
Tortuga!" And he points his adorable little squirrely finger towards Tortuga.
Oh.
And I hit
I mean-
the chest with Dust Crusher.
You could just open it. It's not a mimic.
I don't know that. It jumped
You-
backwards of its own accord.
Yeah, but you said once you knocked on it, it was just a chest. Like,
Hmm?
you literally said it was just a chest.
So
I don't trust
you
it.
smash the chest open. Can you give me a Constitution save? Check. Save. Constitution save. Tortuga. Okay. From above you, you feel like something's looking at you. And you look up and you just see what kind of grossness on the ceiling. It's almost as if something was killed in this room and splattered along the ceiling. And then you look down at the chest, and spilling out of the chest is a weird kind of red goo.
Oh.
That looks like skeleton bones. I guess a redundant thing to say, but looks like parts of a skeleton that are inside this red goo.
Is there a monster hiding in the chest? Was it a
And-
chest monster?
And this goo starts to form. Everybody can roll for initiative.
Tortuga, you know you're supposed to set fluids on fire, right? So we've gone over this.
Do I? Yes.
Note here real quick. Huge success. Yes. Without my normal second screen at the moment. Discord, don't you freeze on me. Don't you freeze on me. Dun, 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 dun. So you have Tortuga and Tekken and Sax and JCP. Perfect. Okay. So these things have. Well, this thing has a surprise round on you. Just because it spilled out, and then when it's. That's my ruling as a DM. And this weird red goo starts to kind of form together, and you see a bunch of different bones in this goo, and it reminds you slightly when you've seen oozes before, but it doesn't have the same consistency as you recall from oozes before. So Tortuga, there's a smack followed by another smack. As this thing hits you. The first one misses. The second one lands. Can you give me a Constitution save, please?
Hoarding flare.
Roll again. Can you still give me a Constitution save? So that you gave 2 saves? Did you mean to do that? Or was
Told
that
him to.
Oh, right.
You asked me for 2.
That's right. The first one. Cool. I understand what happened here. The first one, Warding flared, it missed. The second one, when I had to re-roll, did not. So that first one was only the one that was needed. But yeah, we'll go with this. You feel like the when you got hit, almost like you remember when you were at the Snout and you'd play. Sometimes there were jellyfish there, and you get stung by them. And you kind of feel the barbs going. And it almost felt like there was a toxin that was kind of trying to release into you. You're remembering back to this. Something similar happened as this thing hit you. You kind of felt like these spines stab into you, but it didn't feel like there was any sort of load that was within them. You narrowly avoided anything. You can tell. Next, after
turtles
Huh?
are immune to jellyfish things, and occasionally eat them as snacks.
the more you know.
This is true.
I saw a video of a turtle that decided it was gonna make a bird its snack. So you know.
Turtles are
That's
very
why you were
special
playing
creatures.
with them.
There you
hungry.
go. It
See?
was when Tortuga was a child and he tried to eat them. And just like before, he remembers nothing happened after he got stung.
You must
was
be
a young
immune to them.
warthog.
Yay!
That means you can eat this monster.
Why? I'm not
Oh my
even
gosh,
saying
I think
this
I'll try.
in game. I'm saying this as Matt, your friend. Why would you tell Ramblin'? You know what? Just gonna move on. So
I mean, have you met our group?
I have, and it's why I keep DMing for
Or-
y'all because you're fantastic.
Tortuga pulls out his silly straw.
Oh no. Tortuga has a silly straw. Sounds good to me. The next thing that happens is after these first two hits, you actually see this thing split, and now there's two. And the second one attempts to do something to Sax, and it gives a little, what looks to be kind of an arm, gives a little flick, and some part of it actually comes flying off, and
The hell?
hits you, Sax, and you take 12 necrotic damage.
Cast Hellish Rebuke.
Okay. Go ahead and remind me of the save.
Oh, 19 dex.
And the damage?
I have to roll it.
Okay. Ow. Oh, wow. You maxed that damage out. Nicely done.
Dang.
It takes some damage. Next up, after that, it is Tekken's turn. Tekken, you saw Tortuga walk up to this chest, and you heard a loud dong of what you are used to hearing for one of the spells that he uses, and you saw the chest take some damage, and then you saw Tortuga raise his hammer that he loves to call Dusk Crusher and smacks the chest, and out of it comes spilling that weird red liquid, which then starts attacking Tortuga. What would you like to do?
Is this hammer called something else?
Attack the giant goo monster.
Okie doke. Go ahead and you hit. If the 27 didn't hit, I'd be scared. There's two of them, by the way.
Whichever is the big one that is still big.
Okay.
Spit in the key.
So that
Juicy
was
looking one.
13, 14, 27.
Oh.
That hit.
Helping to cook them so he can eat them.
Okay, that's my turn.
That also hits. 14, 9, another 20. The first one, after you give that final punch at it, Tekken, it kind of splashes to the ground. It looks like it's no longer being animated. There's still that second one, though. And it splits off into another. So now there are still two. There's the
It's annoying.
dead remains of one of them, and there are the two now that are in front of you. And the first one sees that Tekken was responsible for killing the first one, or taking the first one out. And it tries to hit you, Tekken. And it succeeds. You take 5 necrotic damage, Tekken. Can you give me a Constitution save?
Constitution save.
Yes. So, as this thing hits you, you also feel like little barbs made their way in. But unlike what happened with Tortuga, you actually feel something seep into your veins.
I'm gonna use my
And-
diamond soul to reroll that.
Okay.
18. Ooh, better.
Are you immune
As
to
you
anything,
feel-
Tekken?
Hmm?
You immune to anything?
No, I don't think so. Let me see.
Tekken is actually immune to disease and poison.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. So I was about to say, I was like, I'm pretty sure he's immune to something.
Luckily, for me, these aren't disease or poison.
Like you're cheating.
Haha! I'm the DM. I always cheat. But not really. There are rules. So you feel this this kind of liquid seep its way into your veins, but then you remember back to your training, and you manage to neutralize it. And then comes another hit from it. Whack! But this one does not land. Then we have the next. And it splits off. And now there are 3 of them.
For the love of.
This one looks at Gur. Gur, please give me a constitution save. It launches itself towards Gur, but Gur, using their amazing reflexes they've honed from years and years of, I don't know, theft or helping other people, pick one, manages to dodge out of the way. The third one tries to attack. Words, Matt. Chip tries to attack Chip. It needs to give Constitution. Chip, make your Constitution save. Chip does not make the Constitution save. And you see this thing fling itself towards Chip and actually attaches to Chip. And almost looks like it absorbs into Chip. So it attaches itself to Chip and almost becomes like a second skin.
Ew.
Next up, we have Tortuga. Tortuga, there are 2 of these weird creatures that are in front. And there is a third, which you see is kind of turned itself into a suit around Chip.
I would like to cast Radiance of the Dawn and hit all 3 of them, please.
Okay. Cast your spell.
That would be a con saving throw with a DC of 19 with disadvantage.
Ooh.
Nice. Con save of 19, you say?
With disadvantage, he said.
With disadvantage. Woohoo!
Do 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 do. And it's a 19. Let's hear that
Yep.
damage.
It is 2d10 plus 17.
Oh, my.
Well, go ahead and roll that.
So 17.
27?
27.
Okay. So, the first one takes 27. The next one takes 20. This third one takes some damage. And then you see Chip seems hurt.
Oh. Need to figure out how to get that thing off of
And
him.
I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon as well.
Okay. Sounds fantastic.
The first one, please.
Okay. Go ahead and give me that attack roll. You hit. 14 damage. You see some of the bones that were inside of its goo slip and fall, broken out of the body. Along with it goes some of its gooiness onto the ground. And it looks a little smaller than it.
Some of its gooiness.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
Say, Chip, are you still in there, buddy?
There's a small chittering sound that comes from Chip.
Oh.
And he, albeit painfully, gives a tiny thumbs up.
I
Don't forget, everybody. Fire and radiant damage.
Fire and radiant damage, huh? Well, I have a spell for that.
Nice being a spellcaster, because when you lose all your stuff, you still are dangerous.
Yes, I was about to say, because without my equipment, that's pretty much all I can do, so...
Mhm. Is that your turn, Tortuga?
Tis
Okay.
indeed.
Up next, we have Grr.
Yes.
What would
Are
you
we
like to do?
are we still fighting?
Yeah. Keep splitting.
There's 3 of them.
Is there anyone next to a friend that I can get a sneak attack on?
Yes.
We'll attack that one then.
Okay. You're going to be going after the third one, which is currently around Chip.
Oh. Well.
Just be careful not to kill Chip.
That'll hit.
Frost damage.
Okie dokie. You see Chip shivers a little bit. And you notice that your sneak attack goes through this weird ooze and also manages to hit Chip a little bit. Almost as if this ooze was manipulating Chip to be in the way.
It's not very nice.
What would you like to do next?
I still have more attacks.
That'll hit.
9.
9.
And 3 frost.
That'll hit.
8. Okay. And 11. And that is my turn.
Okie dokie. This third one you see sloughs a little bit off of Chip. Still attached. But you see kind of bones and ooze that are now in a little puddle around it. Getting the sense that a good amount of damage has been done. Up next, we actually have Chip. And you see Chip forms a tiny little blade in his. And then he goes to attempt to attack the thing that is on him. But something suddenly changes, and Chip instead tries to attack Tortuga. You take 11 psychic damage.
Warding flare, maybe?
Yeah, that'll work. Let's re-roll that and see if it's still. Yep. so
Sorry, I should have caught you ahead of time.
You're good. No, that's fine. I'm used to this now, so I just roll it into our play. Still hits anyway, so still take that
Sorry.
damage. You're good.
How much was it?
11 psychic damage.
Sweet.
As the little blade moves through you, you suddenly feel a pulse, and you take 29 psychic damage. On top of it.
Not so good.
And then
Tortuga is now mad.
Oh no. Just keep in mind that this thing is like cloaking Chip.
He can be brought back.
Oh.
you see
Dear.
Chip make another blade in his hand, and he attempts attack the thing that is on him. But instead, it goes towards Gur. Gur, you take 9 damage. 9 psychic damage. And that is Chip.
Chip, do you have a will?
It is now Saxon's turn. What was that question, Tortuga? A will? W-I-L-L?
I think that's what he asked. Yes.
As in to live, or as in, where things of his go?
I think that last one, because I think he's planning on just
Both?
straight up killing this thing.
You see Chip look at you and just shake his head back and forth like, no.
For honestly,
And you came on an adventure with us? You silly squirrel.
I mean, no, Puga's not wrong. So, we'll cast Destructive Wave. And I will target everything that is not us.
Okay.
So, they need to succeed a 19 con save.
19 con. Wow. Nat 20.
Let's see here.
But you see Chip raise a tiny little whirly finger, and you start hearing whispering. All of you start hearing kind of a static, psychic static in your head. And you see the weird things falter. And that is not a nat 20, so they fail.
Wonderful.
So I'm letting his luck thing go both ways. So yeah. What's the final result of your spell there, Sax?
Let's see here. So I have to roll. This first one's going to be the thunder damage, but I have to roll the radiant damage too. So,
Okay. Thunder. The thunder. Nice.
Oops, that's not what I meant to do.
The radiant damage is 18. Update that. The first one, upon the thunder damage, explodes into a goopy mess. The next one looks like it is on its last legs. The third one looks to be on its last legs as well. And Chip doesn't seem to be doing so hot himself.
I wasn't targeting Chip.
I know.
The third
Oh.
one's kind of covering Chip.
Doesn't
Bless his
matter. It
heart.
says each
Dadgummit.
creature I choose. And I wasn't choosing Chip. I don't care. It's gonna weave itself around him for all I care.
Yeah, there's some creatures that are able to transfer their pain from themselves to someone.
Well,
else.
that's rude. Cast
Incredibly.
healing light on Chip.
Okie dokie.
Anywho, oh, I don't have any of my weapons. Well, I have to end my turn because I can't really do any bonus actions. So
Okay. Next up, we've got Tekken. Tekken, there are 2 of these things remaining. Both of them aren't doing too well. One of them's attached to Chip. What would you like to do?
I guess I'll attack the one that's attached to Chip.
Okay.
gentle.
Effing effers.
You hit. 11 damage.
Alright.
The next one hits.
Spend in a key point.
On 1 second. So, on that second hit, you actually see it kind of stiffen and then sloughs off of Chip onto the ground into a weird oozy puddle. Yeah. You have 1 remaining.
Okie dokie.
That hits. 14 damage. Would you like to describe your killing blow on the final one?
I punch it, and then it just explodes into a bunch of droplets and doesn't reform and is dead.
Dead. Dead. Nice! Congratulations. You actually see Chip forms 2 little blades in his hand, and he starts just stabbing madly the one that was on him just into the ground. You hear a little tink, 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 tink as his blades are hitting into the ground.
Oh, that's adorable.
He seems
Good
very
times.
angry at this. And then
Thicker flames on all their remains.
you see him snap his fingers, and all
there.
3 of them actually light up on fire.
Oh my.
And you see that Chip has a happy little tiny squirrely grin.
That'll learn you.
The liquid is consumed in the flames, and you see the bones are left behind.
No bones left behind. Sacred flame on the bones.
Okay. You cast Sacred Flame on the bones, which in this case is actually a pretty smart thing to do, honestly.
I cast control flames and make it bigger.
Ooh.
You make it larger. I'm guessing almost taking up the entire room. The remaining bit of what was inside the chest spills out. Well, the chest catches fire. Sax, you notice the stuff that was remaining inside that chest actually was your belongings. Most of which are burning to a char.
They're magical, so they should be fine.
I stopped it once I noticed it.
Almost, with the exception of the magical weapon. So you see a familiar rapier, you see a ring, and your other items are in there as well. Your helm, your
Wonderful.
lute, your hat, mandolin.
Oh, one has to wonder who was keeping my stuff here in the first place. Oh, wait, you said this was Fiery Ball's place. I guess that makes more sense.
You also Zach, you notice the bones that were inside these things look strangely like might be a horse. Part of them are related are for a horse, and the other part might be for a man. And looks like
Oh,
some parts of the
no.
horse are missing, some parts of the man are missing.
I think this is Fury Ball skeleton, which is bad because that means he's dead
Is it
or
now?
have been long dead. So that's not good. Wait, what's my familiar doing?
You don't see your familiar.
Well, that's not good. Seymour?
I'm sure you can just summon him again unless he's already moved on to a different person.
You watch your mouth, Gar. Seymour would never do that. Seymour? Seymour?
I mean, can't Tortuga do the thing he did to Sax where he just like brings him back?
I cast resurrection on the bones.
Right. We probably should
Fantastic how
worry about
he-
him.
He used
Wait, you have a
animate dead for
resurrection spell?
Sax, yet he used
course he did.
resurrection on Fury Ball.
But you have to keep in mind, those spells are expensive. So, I mean, in all fairness, it's like,
I am speechless.
Well, there's a good chance I would have came back regardless. The thing is, Fierball's like definitely dead. I mean, I was just misplaced. So it's like, I kind of understand where he's coming from.
I
Again, these spells
mean-
are expensive.
And I would have if I would have used this on him, he would have had a -4 penalty to all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks. That
Oh,
wouldn't
that
have
would
been
have
good for anybody.
Bad.
So you cast Resurrect. Same sort of thing, actually. The muscle, sinew, everything kind of starts appearing and tying and wrapping around the bones and reforming and growing. And suddenly, you see a Fury Ball standing before you, who gives a little whinny first, followed by a that hurts. And he looks down at himself. And he looks at you all. And looks back at himself and back at you all. What happened?
Well, that's a great question.
Well, what happened is I just wasted a 7th level spell slot trying to bring you back. Now you better have some good news and help us out here, please.
Is Find Familiar a ritual spell?
It is.
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to do that in the back while you guys talk to Fury Ball.
That would be 1 hour and 10 minutes.
I said what I said.
So yeah. Fairy Ball looks and says, well, last I remember I was in here. And then there was a loud kaboom. Something attached itself to me. And then I remember a lot of burning. Like I was being dissolved. And next thing I know, here I am.
Kind of were.
You remember
Oh.
who set you on fire?
I don't.
Useless.
He suddenly notices he's in.
It-
Is this? He sniffs. It smells like my place. It does not look like my place.
That's what
It
I
might have-
said.
It might have been a while.
What do you mean? How long's a while? How long was I dead?
Not really sure, but we're talking years.
Ah. My truffles. They were
Right?
growing for so long. My 100-year truffles. They're probably destroyed now. And he suddenly notices Chip. The hell are you? Chip looks
Right?
back to Fury Ball and goes, I'm Chip! Hi! And waves. Fury Ball then looks to the rest of you. That's yours, isn't it? And then look specifically at Tortuga. That's yours, isn't it? Chip says, excuse me. No one owns me. I'm a squirrel. I'm free. I do whatever I want. And what I want to do is travel with friends. And he points to all of you.
Oh.
And maybe a new friend.
Aw.
And points to Sax.
Well, let's not get
Fairy
carried
Ball
away.
says, yeah. Seems about on point. I was gonna see if, try to see if y'all could prove that you're you and not some weird thing going on. Because there's a lot of strange stuff that's been happening, as I'm sure you knew, that led up to right about the point before I guess I was murdered.
Tuga, do the thing.
But given how this is all going out, I trust that this is you all. I trust without a doubt that you are who you all are telling me you are. So yeah, someone's
I
gonna
mean,
have
I
to
could
fill me in.
always do Zone of Truth if that makes you feel better. But yeah. I go up and I lick him. Oh wait, no,
Here
I
we
don't
go.
because
He
I
did
got
the
that
thing.
talking to.
Did you say you do walk up and lick Fairy Ball, or you do not?
Quit. It would prove who you are.
I say, Fairy Ball, I would like your permission to come up into your personal space, please.
Or did you send him to the seminar?
We've been talking.
I can tell.
Fairy Ball face palms. Fine.
I go up and I lick him
He does not
just to
taste
make
like
sure that
her.
it's him.
Yeah. I don't remember if you licked Fairy Ball previously, but I can tell you he
Pretty sure
does
he
not
tried.
taste like her. And from what you remember, tastes a bit like burning brimstone and spite.
Is he in hell?
Fairy Ball, no. But as soon as you do that, you actually see Fairy Ball says, wait a minute. My head's clearing a bit. You all were on your way to take on Magpie in a couple of days, from what I remember.
Well, one
Wait,
version of us were.
You were dead that long?
You were dead? Did
I
the same thing
mean-
that happened to me happen to you?
And my circumstances are a touch different, but I was technically, in this timeline anyway. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know all the details right now.
Yeah, and we were going to ask you for the details, which isn't going to happen.
I remember that you all were trying to get some information on finding a name. That's right. You were looking for Magpie's true name. I remember. And you all came to me to see if I could make some sort of amulet or talisman for you that would help you. The details of that one was hazy. I don't quite recall. But I do remember that you also...
Ooh! I got a thing.
What the hell?
Uh-huh.
And I show him the crayon rubbing of Magpie's name.
I'm not sure that was the true name.
You guys
It-
got a crayon rubbing
It
of
was the one used on
Magpie's
his
name?
prison.
Which said Magpie.
Yeah.
Why would they nickname him in his prison? I feel
He
like they
looks-
should have used his real name for that.
It was like,
Because they don't know his real name. That was as close as
But
they
then
could get. And that's probably why
how
they
would-
were able to escape.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Fairy
thought it was
ball.
like a run of the thing.
Well, it's magpie in a different language.
Yeah.
Well, that's just annoying.
Fairy ball looks and says, "Oh, actually, good point." Fairy ball looks and says, "Oh, Tortuga, you've been practicing different languages. Is that so you can work with people from all over, trying to continue to help spread the name of Helm in your current role?" It's at this point you realize that Tortuga became the head of Helm before you all took care of Pie.
I was just about to say, how would he know that if he was dead unless this happened beforehand?
Well, he was offered it before.
But he didn't take it.
Well, maybe this is a different timeline.
Yeah, but Fairy Ball died days before we actually took on Magpie, which means it couldn't have been that far from when we actually, did what we were doing. So that means Tortuga basically went back and was just like, you know what, I changed my mind. I'm going to go ahead and do it. And then we all took on Magpie. Kit and I somehow died, which I still kind of a little fuzzy on how that happened because I wouldn't have sacrificed myself for anybody. And then now we're in this situation.
Yeah, no one actually really knows the details of why. I'm trying to
Well, I
remember
mean,
why Tortuga. How
there's another
I
possibility
I
that
just
this
got
is
the
some
news.
sort of trick from Magpie, so we stop hunting him.
That's what I was thinking at first, too. But then it would make sense as to why I was actually dead. Unless that was some type of trick as well.
That would make
Yeah,
sense.
well, maybe he took you out of the picture because you're the biggest threat.
Am I the biggest threat? Tuka's far more powerful than I am.
Yeah, you're right. Doesn't make sense.
Unless, and Fairy Ball thinks for a moment, unless both Kit and Sax were the ones that would bumble themselves enough to accidentally be able to put Fairy Ball away, since they accidentally released Fury.
Well, I mean, I could see Kit being the most unpredictable, and Sax being the one who gives us more power, and those buffs he sends out really do help.
Did Kit manage to put an end to the uprising like he wanted to?
No, he did not. Actually, still working on that, actually.
Makes sense.
Our timeline's a mess.
Yeah, even the regular timeline's a mess.
And it's all centered on you all.
Allegedly.
I mean, allegedly, you came to me, told me exactly what happened.
Don't remember that.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going around. But in any case, I might be able to help a little bit, because the last thing that I remember, again, is you all came to my place. Tortuga sat over there, and he actually points to one of the corners of the room. And you called me a name, and then you set my plants on fire again.
Sounds like Tortuga.
And then after that, you asked for my help, which was a weird thing to do, but getting used to it by now. And you were wondering if there's any information I could give about Magpie's name. I know that's something that everybody seems to be looking for, but nobody has. And I recall that, this is beginning to make sense. Gave you all some information, and then a little bit later, that's when the acidy, burny, pain, death occurred. I think by me giving you that information, that put out a hit on me.
I mean, to be fair, you're probably gonna have one on your head in the anyway. So
And you said in this
Just let it
timeline, Magpie is already taken care of. So there's really no reason for me to risk my centaur hide again, is there?
well, do you guys have proof that Magpie was taken care of in this timeline?
See Chip look and say, "Oh yes, Kid and Sax sacrificed themselves for the greater good, and Magpie was
Really don't believe that
defeated, and
happened.
we don't actually know the details. We just know that it had happened because all the undead, at the same time, all around the world, ceased to exist. That's when the weather got really strange."
Yeah, but did you kill confirm him?
I don't know.
Did anybody
then-
teabag him?
Yeah, I need like more details on how this whole thing went down. To be honest.
I don't know why anyone would want to turn him into tea. That's weird.
Oh,
If you
that's
drink
not what
him,
that
he'd probably
means.
taste really bad. After you turn him into tea, do you keep him in your prison pocket?
Oh, we gotta stop teaching the squirrel things because this is yeah.
We?
Not-
Yeah.
mean, you guys are allowing it to happen. So the way I see
Allowing
it is you're
it
kind
to
of complicit
happen.
in this.
Like we can control what Tortuga does.
Feel like you could if you tried. I feel like you could. But that aside, though, because you said the weather got weird. What do you mean by the weather got weird?
It was raining dinosaurs when we got here.
Sorry, what?
T-Rexes.
Dinosaurs
specifically.
were falling from the sky. They're calling it rain. It's
Did we cause another apocalypse?
maybe we just swapped one for another.
I feel like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't know everything about the weather everywhere, but I'm like 90% sure that it doesn't usually rain dinosaurs. So,
Tortuga kept one of the precipitation as a pet. It's outside. It's what brought us here.
Lots of them. I kept
Hey.
lots of them. I have a zoo at the Temple of Helm now.
oh,
The Jurassic Park theme plays nonstop.
I feel like I'm gonna have to circle back on that. But so
That's
then
not how we got here because we rode dinosaurs.
So okay, I have multiple questions now, but most important one here is, so you said Magpie died and the zombies stopped, but then it started raining dinosaurs. You didn't find that remotely odd?
That was more annoying. The dinosaurs, like Tortuga said, they were able to be tamed, and sometimes they're adorable.
Okay.
They run around and they go roar, and then sometimes they eat the cat.
Sax, I know you have questions,
So
but
many.
the only person we can ask is this brain dead squirrel. We don't get answers.
Oh,
Hey,
So
I'm
wait,
not
he's-
brain
he's
dead.
the
I'd be
only
undead
one-
that way. I
He's
have a
the
brain.
only one who will talk to us, but we don't get answers
this does not
because
help
it's
at
filtered
all,
through
then.
his squirrelness.
This is just what a bother. So then I would ask how Tortuga knew to come to Fury Ball, but if Fury Ball was already dead, then what was he supposed to help us with?
I don't know, but me said that I need to go see Fury Ball in the note that I written to me.
That's not confusing at all.
It's very easy. You see, Tortuga wrote a note to himself to remind himself to go see Fieri Ball. It's why we're here. And you say I
I'll-
have a
I-
sports
I'll-
brain.
I see what you mean. This is. You guys have been dealing with this the entire time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I think we needed a little guidance here. Hold on.
Okay.
Fieri Ball is just staring, watching the interaction between all of you.
I'm still
shaking
doing my
his head.
ritual, so.
Yeah, just sit down on the floor
Hmm.
and I perform the ritual divination.
Okay. Divination.
And
Now, as the head of Helm, you probably have, direct access instead of.
oh man, as the head of Helm, I should have just cast sending towards Helm.
Can you do that? Can he do that?
Yeah.
Can
see,
I do that?
Here's what I want to do versus what I'm not gonna do. But here's what I want to do. You see how sending works is it allows you to contact either the god or one of the servants. So Tortuga goes to use this divination, and you realize,
Oh
Tortuga,
gosh.
you have opened up a conduit to yourself.
Like his future self or to his self?
His
Well, I don't-
self, all of his
Finish
thoughts
that
are
thing out.
echoing. Because Tortuga is the
Hello, hello, hello,
servant
hello,
of Helm.
hello.
Is he divining himself?
Don't say it like that.
Hello, 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 hello,
He's
hello.
definitely divining himself.
So
You probably should
Tortuga,
have been more specific.
what you do though is you assume the spell is still going to work appropriately, even though you're kind of hearing yourself and you're actually having a conversation with yourself, and it's different than normal. It's not the same conversation with yourself that you have. So, as you're doing that, you're thinking, and you probably say, "Hi, me," and you hear a voice in your head, "Hey, what's up, me?" And you know that you're able to ask a question.
Hey, me. Yeah, me. How you doing, handsome thing? You. Well, me. You see me. We're having some problems, and I just want to know if we're in the right space. Maybe should we keep going in the dungeon, me, or like should we look somewhere else?
You hear your head go, "Whoa, whoa, 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 slow down."
Or
That's that's too much, me.
That's too much.
No, it's not me. I'm an awesome dude. I can do this. How do we get back home?
Well, you know where the snout of Ongar is, me. You can get back there any time.
Ask him about the timeline.
Well, me, how do we get back to our time?
Well, me, you have to figure out how you successfully defeated Magpie. And that shouldn't be too hard for you, me. You're a smart guy. You're a good guy. You'll be able to figure it out. And once you do, blam! You'll be back home in your normal timeline as if nothing ever happened. Okay, Helm needs me. I gotta go. Bye. And you hear like a click
Wow.
and then a dial tone. Eeeeee. Just kind of fades away.
That makes sense because that's what Tortuga usually hears in his head when he's not thinking about things.
Dear.
Which is like all the time, right?
You think I'm annoying? How do you think I feel? I have to live with myself all the time.
Do I have to count that as a spell slot since I did it as a ritual?
No.
I can't remember.
Rituals are free.
Nope.
Sweet. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, has my hour passed for my find familiar spell yet?
Nope.
Yeesh. Still have time to kill, guys. Ask more questions.
Fairy Ball's kind of standing watching you talk to yourself, but Fairy Ball's also used to this.
Fairy Ball, if would you happen to have any turtle size armor around here if you haven't been looted already?
I don't know. Let me check the place around me. That looks absolutely nothing like I left it. Maybe in this door. And he walks out of the door he's in, and he's like, oh, these two doors are broken. I'm going to guess that you all opened them. And he walks into the second door, looks around, sees a dead body. Nope, nothing in here. Walks out of that one, goes in the second one, looks around. Maybe it's behind this rock. He moves the rock because you actually hear some rocks getting thrown around the room.
We get it, Fairy Ball.
No turtle-sized armor in here. And he walks out of this room and looks around. And then he says, oh, there's a fourth door. Here, let me help you. And he gets ready to start charging the fourth door. What do y'all want to do?
Wait. So there's like no
I'm
way
in
to
the
open
middle
these
of a
doors
ritual,
anyway.
so I can't
We were
really do
just
much.
wasting our time.
What was that question?
Is there any? So you're not going to show us how to open the doors? You're just going to break them like we did. We're just wasting our time trying to open them.
He doesn't know.
Well, remember, this is like a new place to him, basically, because it changed while
It's
he
not
was
the way
dead,
he
so
left it.
somebody else must
Yeah,
be
I
in
mean,
charge of
but-
this place now.
But he built it.
He built the original version, which was like a garden. It wasn't a giant dungeon when we were here.
Say so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure someone came in and renovated, and they did a pretty crappy job.
Which, side note, is that person still hanging around here? Because I feel like we should have probably worried about that.
I think they should be more worried than we are. Because we're probably going to find
I mean,
I don't know, but that fourth door is the only door that I actually remember putting up here.
Okay, well, just
so then you should
we
know how
need
to
to
open
wait
it
a
then,
few more
shouldn't you?
minutes until we summon Seymour, and then we can open the door.
I'm in the middle of a ritual, so kind of indisposed.
Do you want to put on some clothes or something?
Yeah, I was going to ask about that, but I figured I'd just let it go because weirder things have happened, and I just don't
I mean,
have
he's
the
a
headspace.
centaur, though. Like, did
Yeah,
he
I'm not
wear
sure
clothes
what-
when we met him in the first place?
What centaur fashion is? I'm not.
This part of me feels like he was kind of,
Hanging
his
loose.
birthday suit when we met. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he is a centaur, and just like a satyr, probably same sort of thing without the pants. You figure there's enough, fur or whatever covering things, and it's just common courtesy not to stare.
Ah.
But Fairy Ball does hear you all pondering and goes, ah, probably wondering what centaur pants look like.
Actually,
I wasn't.
And I'll tell you, they don't
Didn't
exist
ask.
because
I'm going to cover my ears because I don't.
all
I don't want you to know.
centaurs got together and we tried to figure out what centaur pants would look like, and we couldn't figure it out, and we kept arguing, and we never came to a resolution. And then we realized horses don't wear pants.
Could
No
have
one
told
complains
you that.
about them. yeah, that's about what happened there. And then he realizes what he's saying, and he just shakes his head. He says, "Well, thank you for bringing me back. Is there something I can help you with?"
That's what we were wondering. Since
What were you?
future Tortuga told Tortuga to come to you.
Ah, future Tortuga told Tortuga to come. So Tortuga after this, current Tortuga?
My understanding, yes.
I don't even know. We
Huh.
got a note from a different Tortuga.
The
Yep.
notes. Can I see the note?
I pull out the note and I hand it to him. You do speak Aquan, don't you?
Everything. I speak everything.
Someone's flexing.
No,
Flexing.
but when you do the kind of work that I do, it behooves you to make sure you fully understand the kinds of contracts you may be getting yourself
Really?
into or out of.
Really, we're going with a hooves pun.
Right?
Behooves.
And he stomps one of his hooves on the ground and goes, "You know it. If I have to feel this kind of pain, so do you." And he looks at the note. He sniffs
Hey,
it.
do you ever treat diseases?
They don't call me Dr. Fiery Ball for nothing.
Do
Call
they?
you
Do
Dr.
they call you
Fairy
that?
Ball?
No, they don't.
It's like, when was this?
But I do make a lot of different
Because you could be the
herbs and-
centaur for disease control.
I saw that coming, and I still allowed it to happen. Still allowed that to happen.
Fairy Ball looks at the note. And then he tears the note up into tiny little pieces.
What the hell?
And then he says,
Why
"I
did you tear
think-
my note up?
Well, if you wrote a note to yourself to come see me, I'm just working off of why you would have come to see me, and I'm making some assumptions here, and we're gonna hope that these assumptions play out. But my guess is because that fourth door there is the only door that I am aware of, having been here previously, that I'm gonna need what's behind it, and we probably want to get that door unlocked. Have you figured out how to do this yet?"
Clearly not if they've been punching doors down this entire time.
Yeah, just like he couldn't find anything in the doors you just checked. Smart guy. Jeez. This guy.
Not the one
Honestly.
that's been in these doors. That's why I'm asking. Okay. Well, clearly, and he looks around. There's the
That still doesn't explain why you tore my note up. That was very rude.
It's true. It was kind of rude.
Well, I noticed that the paper that this note was written on is a very particular type of paper, Tortuga, and this type of paper is the only type of paper that I make. Meaning I must have given you a piece of this for you to write this note to yourself to let you know to come back here to bring this paper to me at a later date. So,
This all makes sense.
let's and Fury Ball walks over to one of the pillars. Says his handprints on the pillar. And he goes
Yeah.
to put his hand on one, then he stops. Have y'all put your hands on these yet?
Yes.
Some of them. Sometimes they get warmer.
I go to smash the door.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and give me a strength check.
I would like to use lucky on this.
Okay. You use lucky. Go ahead and roll your 6. Told you. I told you.
I would like to use lucky again,
Stop it.
please.
Just let Fiery Ball solve the stupid puzzle.
Oh no, if you want to use lucky again,
Dadgummit.
would you like to
Basically,
burn
you
your
just
last use
spent
of
All
lucky?
of your lucky. Just let him open the door.
Okay, no. You rolled athletics again. Tekken starts jumping around and doing some impressive moves, like he's getting ready to hit the door. And Fury Ball says, "Hold up! I wouldn't break the door down." Noting the bodies, I'm guessing every time you broke one of these doors down, something came out to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, things attack us whether or not we break doors down.
Also true.
Yeah. So, looking at these pillars and looking at these doors, there are probably some inert statues behind there. And if the door is not properly unlocked, the statues probably come to life and probably attack you.
Has been fighting statues all this time?
So, but maybe could have also been petrified and set up with some sort of trigger that if the door is broken down, that the petrification lasts, falls away, goes away, vanishes.
They're
Ends.
trapped.
Yes. So if we open the door the way it's meant to, instead of breaking it down, we might be able to escape here without having to attack something. That said, I can go wait over in a corner over here if you'd like to continue trying to break the door down.
No, just open it if you know how. Honestly.
I mean, I have an assumption. So, Gur, you said when you touched one of these pillars, they got warm.
Yes.
Did you ever notice that the temperature of the pillar changed?
Yes.
Do you know what you did when the temperature of the
Well, I touched that one. It got warm. Then Tortuga touched that one. I got warmer. And then Tekken touched that one over there, but nothing got warmer.
Ah, I see. And the fourth door is the one we need. But I'm gonna make an assumption. Tortuga, can you go walk over and touch the one that's at he points to the one that's at the 4 o'clock.
I guess I can.
Okay. And we're gonna go with Tekken. Tekken, can you go over and touch the one that's at 5 o'clock?
Sure.
When Tekken touched the one at 5 o'clock, did it feel warmer to you, Tortuga? And you realize it did. Fairy Ball says, fantastic. Okay, so he wanders over to the pillar that is at 7 o'clock. He says, this is the pillar that's in front of the fourth door. So if these work the way that I remember, and he places a hand on the one that is at 7 o'clock, and both you, Tekken, and Tortuga feel the pillar get warmer. Then you actually start seeing runes kind of glow and break through all these smudgy handprints. And then you see on the door those same set of runes that are showing through appear. And then you hear click, and the door swings itself open. And he says, yeah, these we've played with, or I've seen before. Don't remember the stonemason. the one that actually builds these. I know I've dealt with her. It's been a while. It's been a long time. The big secret is you just have to make sure you. There's always 3 pillars attached to a door. You find the one that's directly in front, and then you just make your way to the one 3 across that are connected. So, for the first door, and then he points to the one that's at 11 o'clock, the one that's 1 o'clock, and the one that's 2 o'clock. He said, for the first door, those are the 3 you want to touch. And then he points to the second door and says, for that one, you would have wanted to touch. And he motions to the one that's at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and 1 o'clock. And then he says, and for that third door, and he points to the one at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 4 o'clock. So pretty much you just kind of follow the line of these pillars. I understand that might be a little confusing if you're not quite used to it. But luckily you have me. Anywho, and he goes to make his way inside of that first door. And you hear him say, aha! This is my closet. Fantastic. You hear him rummaging around and stuff. The room's fairly dark as far as you can tell, so you can't really see what he's doing unless you made your way into the room itself. And he comes out and he actually has a little mortar and pestle. And the mortar and pestle looks quite old. He's like, I've had this for quite a long time. It's one of my favorite things. I got it when I was very young. And he actually drops the note that he tore up into the mortar and pestle. He sets it on the ground. So puts the mortar on the ground, puts the paper inside, drops the pestle inside, and he looks at it and says, grind. Pestle on its own starts actually moving and grinding quicker and quicker and quicker. Essentially, it's turning that powder into a fine paste. Sorry, not a paste, a powder. After a little bit, and he sits there for a little bit waiting for this to happen. It's about this time, Sax, that you hear a tiny little squeak from behind you. And you see that Seymour is floating behind you now. Your ritual is complete.
Yay!
And you see that Seymour has a tiny top hat and a small little monocle.
Okay.
He also has a tiny little bow tie on.
Did you go to Broadway while I was gone?
And he looks right at you and says, Sax, I've missed you. And he goes and gives you a little hug with all of his little eye stalks.
Oh. Kind of like the new look, though. Oh, fancy.
And it's also around this time that the pestle stops magically grinding. And Fairy Ball picks up the mortar and empties out the powder into his hand. And looks and says, I have to be really careful with this. And he starts clearing some of the ground. So the floor itself, is made out of stone and a lot of dust here. So he's kind of clearing out the floor. And he goes back into the room, comes out with a broom, and actually starts sweeping the entirety of the floor. Getting rid of the dust, trying to clean it up. It's okay. Carefully. And then he steps to one corner of the room and he asks the rest of you to step to the other corners of the room to make sure that no one is on the floor. And he starts at one end, and he starts very carefully laying the powder that he got from the note in little parts all along the floor. And he works his way from the top, or from one side of the room to the other side of the room, Then he has none of the ground up letter anymore in his hand. He looks at Tortuga and says, I'll let you do the honors. Set the floor on fire.
I set the floor on fire.
Tortuga sets the floor on fire. And there's a flash. It's a greenish blue flame that actually is coming off of the floor, and it's flickering there. And the fire itself, these flames are moving slower than you're used to. Seeing that a fire would move, it almost looks like they're moving kind of out of phase with time itself, and they start moving back and forth, almost in a glitchy manner. And then it subsides, and you look at the floor, and you see that there's familiar wording. Well, not quite familiar, but partially familiar wording on the floor. Sax would actually take note that kind of glowing on the ground to what the rest of you might look like runes, actually, to you, Sax, reminds you of the letters that were in books you read when you were a small child back home. Kind of books
Dear.
that your dad gave you.
It's Demon Book.
And you remember,
Demon
yes, that
language.
this is a very old language that your father tried to teach you. And you remember some of it. In Tortuga, you realize that some of the lettering here actually is matching the word magpie that you had in crayon on that other note that you made the rubbing of. And you see that Fairy Ball is
I
looking-
recognize that.
Ah, that's good. That's good, Tortuga. And Fairy Ball looks down. Oh. Crap. Well, this all makes sense now. I see why I would have given you. Sax, you realize that the words that are on here are actually, that's laying up on the ground, is actually an address. Because you can actually
Oh.
read it. And you do see, that it says, has part of Magpie's name. And then you see, like I said, that there is a particular address that's on the ground. It all says, And it looks to you, Sax, and sees that you're able to read it and says, I wasn't sure if you would understand this, but I'm guessing that you are able to read this, which is good. That might come in handy. Are you aware of where this place is, or what this place is?
I have a small idea, but it's
And what's the idea that you have?
I don't know. Stop asking me questions. It's been years.
Well, this Tortuga actually might be aware of this place, possibly. There is a very holy of holy sites. It is a grave site. Not a grave site, but effectively a graveyard. Where beings of divine nature find themselves buried when they no longer are of this world. And if I had to guess, you all are looking for a particular book that contains a particular name. I'm guessing I'm warm here, that you're actually trying to find Magpie's true name, his actual name, his real name.
Yeah,
Yep,
but
that's
why
it.
would it be buried in a celestial graveyard?
Oh, you could imagine that if there's someone like Magpie and he's not wanting something like that to be found, that he's going to... Well, it's your one. You can imagine that the bones of celestial beings are probably highly sought after by collectors that are to want to try to steal them, grave robbers effectively, to try to sell them on the black market. Or some people foolishly believe if you take the bones of divine beings and grind them up, that you can consume them and gain the powers of those celestials. And this particular graveyard, this particular cemetery, when things are put to rest there are people, entities that guard it, and their job is to make sure that nobody, in any way, shape, or form, ever disturbs any of the grave sites. Guess is Magpie probably took the one book that contained his name, probably his book, from the very library he was imprisoned at, and hid it. I'm guessing I'm probably on the right track here.
How did he even
And
pull that off?
it'd be pretty hard, because first you'd have to find a divine being. You'd have to take out the divine being. And then he would have to make sure that his book was buried with that divine. Let's not even talk about him trying to steal the book itself from the library. That alone would be a feat in and of itself. No one ever really leaves the library with that stuff. But in order for him to, like I said, take out a divine being and then have the book buried there, yeah, my guess is that's probably where your next stop should be.
This is going to be fun.
You've used that word before, and I don't think that word is the word you're looking for. I wouldn't consider it.
Obviously saying it sarcastically.
Oh, that makes sense.
Out of curiosity, though, these beings that guard this cemetery, what exactly are they?
They're celestial beings themselves.
Oh, crap.
In some cases they've been what's the word? Placed there by the some of the gods themselves. At the very lowest totem, Coatls, if you're used to those or have heard those before, kind of guard the outer perimeter, just keeping track. As you start making your way, closer to the inside, you'll find, if you've ever heard of devas before, some of them kind of guard the areas. They tend to be the ones whose job is to kind of patrol and check up and make sure that the sites haven't been disturbed. As you make your way closer in, you get to some scarier beings. There is a Solar. I'm not sure if you've ever met with one of them before, but they're not anyone that you want to tussle with.
There wouldn't be any Death Knights out there, would there?
A Death Knight?
Blazes, would there be Death Knights?
Yes! They have to keep a few undead around to help keep things balanced out. Yes, that. Why would you even ask that?
Because he wants a booty call.
Honestly. Possible to reason with these creatures. I mean, we have a high priest of fine order. Would we be able to get in and out of this place safely?
The years that I'd been alive up until something came and took me out, still very sour about that. I have never heard of anything that has been laid to rest making its way out. I've heard a lot of stories about would-be grave robbers.
Well, I mean, we're not technically robbing the grave. I mean, we're just...
Not that
Going
there's
in there
anything
to
wrong
get-
with that.
Yeah. Yeah, no comment. But we kind of just need to see something. Just do need that information. I
What?
also don't feel like fighting divine
mean,
beings.
It's not a good idea.
hypothetically speaking, I could like turn ethereal and just zoom past everybody, look and see if I can find the book, and then zoom back.
So, slight problem with that. I mean, don't get me wrong, you will get in. I'm assuming. The problem is, you would have to not be ethereal to interact with area, correct?
That is correct. And I would
So
also like to
then,
just give you a little bit of a heads up. A lot of divine, beings, celestial beings, tend to be able to see everything.
Oh yeah, Core Idol has true sight.
so
That
basically,
they do.
you would be drawing everything to you as soon as you unetherealed. And yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna go well. Again, you're a priest. I mean, I feel like there's some way for you to get around all of that. Us having to take on powerful
I
divine beings.
suppose if you are a again high priest, you might be able to leverage that. If, for some reason, you just so happen to have the bones of some sort of divine being or something that you felt needed to be buried, because you are the head of Helm's Order, I'm sure you might be able to at least have a reason to get through the front doors.
You wouldn't happen to have a divine skeleton lying around, would
if-
you, Tortuga?
What if I had the bones of a high priest of Helm?
What?
That would probably work.
Okay,
You
hear
have
me out. They're still in use right now, but I do have the bones of a high priest of Helm.
Wait, what do you mean they're still in use right now?
I mean, technically, I'm still using my bones.
But so is the plan for you to die and then leverage yourself
No.
to get us into the
No, I'm just gonna
cemetery?
go. I'm gonna go see where I'm spending eternity. That's my argument. I'm just gonna like, hey, I wanna go see where my bones are gonna be laid to rest. And
You're shopping for grave plots.
yes, and I'm pretty sure you could help me convince them of that.
I see. Under normal circumstances, maybe, but I mean, I'm half demon. Not sure how happy these things are going to be to see me.
Oh, it'll work on the buddy system. You're with me, buddy.
Oh dear,
You're with me, buddy.
Pal, friend.
this is
Compadre.
definitely going to blow up in our
Amigo.
faces.
Without a doubt, and I look forward to it. Might be, I mean, probably could figure that out. Sure, that'll work hilariously well for you. And
Huh.
Fairy Ball says that as he's grinning.
This is probably.
There's no way this could go wrong.
Feel
Not at
like.
all.
Feel like. It's the literal opposite. of everything that's probably gonna happen. But wait, future self is he still alive?
Is who still alive?
Tortuga's future self.
He's standing right here.
But he wrote a note to himself, right? So is
So did I become me? Did I take my own body? What's going on here?
yes, how does
Am
this
I
shift
me?
work?
Am I future me?
Because I'm
Ah.
assuming that would mean Gur and Tekken also have their respective future selves out there unless they took their places.
I mean, if
Guessing.
that's the case, I should be like level 20 by now.
Well, not just that, I'm assuming your future self would actually have the information for, how you guys killed Magpie in the first place. And his true name, I'm assuming, since he's apparently dead in this timeline.
So as you ask that question, Chip suddenly pops up. Oh, you all don't know how time travel works. You see, everybody's body is sort of like a vessel that's traveling through the timeline. There's not multiple versions of yourself, there's a single version of yourself. And depending on the point in time that you exist, at any given point, yourself exists in your body at that point, which is why Kit's dead here and Sax is dead here. And as soon as you all were placed into this place, Kit and Sax at this point in time were dead. So when they were brought here, they found themselves dead.
It's
Ooh,
weird how
That's a
clear
bug.
you
And then
do
he
that.
jumps away and starts playing with a little bug that's on the floor.
And there it is.
When did Chip become an expert
Bas-
in temporal disturbances?
Yeah,
Since
was
we
kinda
needed
weird.
help.
I guess basically what we're being told is we're not getting the easy answer out of this. So we have to do this the hard way. Is
Chip
all I
turns around
actually
and says,
heard.
The library has a lot of really good books and they smelled really good and tasted really good, but sometimes I would actually read them once I learned how to read.
Huh. Cool. 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 So, we could do this another way, though, if the whole grave plot shopping thing doesn't work. Tortuga, don't you have the ability to summon celestial beings?
Yes.
I summon Coriato.
I didn't say to do it right this second. I was like,
You, unless I'm mistaken, don't get to pick what gets summoned.
Wait. On that specific spell, I do. I can choose between a Coriato and a Pegasus.
Ah, okay.
Planear ally, I believe.
Yeah, I thought you were using, like, what was it? Summon. Actually, summon Celeste.
I just like on sex is like so Tortuga.
Wait, Planear
Here's an
ally does like
idea.
Angel.
Man, I'm maybe gonna talk about a plan next, and Tortuga's just like, do the thing, yes.
yeah, I
See?
just want to say, I was
See,
like,
sex, and you're like, oh, Tekken, Grr, how could you? Oh, yeah, way to go. As he's summoning a celestial, as you just gave him the idea. Way to go, Sax. Yeah, now you see what it's been like.
to be fair though, I didn't even finish thought before he just said he was gonna summon it.
Exactly. That's
I
what
simply
we
asked
work
the
with.
question.
So, suddenly,
Fair enough.
Suddenly.
you see that there's a coatl in front of you, and it's looking at Tortuga and says, "Did you call me?"
Hey, Corey. Remember me from last time?
I'm not Corey.
You look like Corey.
Well, that's rude. You You look like a turtle. That doesn't make you Dave,
Oh my
Who the
god.
hell is Dave?
does it? Are you
You know
Dave?
Dave?
I do know Dave.
That was my clutch mate.
Oh. 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 You're Tortuga.
Why does he sound so disappointed?
I'm not disappointed. I'm just
Why do
amazed
you
that
sound
he
so
made it.
disappointed?
I figured you would have been dead long ago.
Dave's not dead though, is he?
Of course not. Dave's wise. And
Okay.
and of a business mind, and he's been sailing all around all these years. He said you like to set things on fire.
He definitely knows
That I
Tortuga.
do.
Including your own hand.
Sometimes.
But that's neither. Oh, hold on 1 second. I just sneezed. Didn't want to do it loudly into the microphone.
Issue.
Thank you. You called me here though. Why am I here?
Is there any way you could take us to that place where the dead celestials are kept? Kind of need to do the thing where I'm grave shopping. You know, turtles don't live that long. Just wanna, as a high priest of Helm, I think that's where I want to lay my body.
I don't know how you think I would be any more help than you yourself. Are you? You think I have some sort of sway over some area? And it's just staring at you, confused.
He
The
said
truth-
quietly.
I just want to say, I was like,
The
uh,
truth
I
about
imagine
the thing
that-
we're looking for.
That Sax
I'm
has
gonna
already
re-up
done
the
his
telepathy bond. Yeah. So we can
What
actually
if we
speak
just
freely.
tell him that we're looking to kill Magpie again?
Well, see, the thing is, my actual plan is going to involve us doing something very, very bad. And that's why I wanted to finish my plan, or telling you what the actual plan was before you summoned this thing here.
And you suddenly hear a voice echoing in all of your heads that sounds just like the Coatl. That says, "You're trying to kill Magpie again."
Yes.
Is this thing telepathic?
Yes, we are. I forgot about that.
Honestly, I feel like
Telepathic and detect thoughts.
Not only as like Tortuga, not as like Tortuga, but I forgot about that as me.
Koalas are some of
Honestly.
my favorite creatures that are celestial.
I love Corattles. They're cool.
I have at one point let them be a familiar before, and then that was way too powerful, so that never is going to happen again. Well, not that it couldn't happen. Anyway, you hear Not Dave say, "So, if you say again, does that mean you're trying to bring him back?
No,
No.
time travel is involved. So we're trying to kill him again for the first time, and we think we need something from the graveyard to do that.
Ah.
I just let him read my thoughts about what happened for the past
No.
like few days.
No, no,
I was just about to say, it's like that's the worst idea.
no, I don't want a crazy Quaddle.
Do you just let her read your thoughts of the past couple of days, Tortuga?
Yeah.
Okay. So as it's talking to you, you suddenly see its eyes shift and get wider and wider as it looks. And it just opens its mouth and goes,
I mean, that way it knows we're not lying to it or something.
Who's going to try to lie to it?
You.
Why would you assume I was going to try to lie to it? I don't even know what's going on.
It's your MO.
Yes, when I know the
Does
situation.
it survive that experience?
reading your mind, yes. And then it leaves off with one last thing saying, you might want to have a doctor check that out for you, Tortuga.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, if you need to get into that world cemetery, I can help you with that. Not sure how, but I could probably help you in some shape or form. Which specific spell did you use for this, Tortuga?
It was hold on. It was a level 7. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Loading, loading, loading.
Good times.
The loading bar appears above Tortuga's head.
Oh, Plan Your Ally.
Planar Ally is 5th level. I believe. No, Planar Ally is 6th level. It's Summon Celestial. It's 5th. Yeah. Planar Ally is 6th level. And yeah, that one. You don't get to pick.
Wait. No, it's yeah, Plan Your Ally.
Okay.
I have like 2 that do the same thing, and like one I summon stuff and don't have control over it, and then the other one I do, and I can't remember which one's which.
So Planar Ally,
That seems like something
just
that's
so you
important to
know, the Planar Ally. So I get to
Conjure
pick.
Celestial. That's it. Conjure
Okay.
Celestial.
Okay. So I was gonna say with Planar
That's
Celestial or Planar Ally, I get to pick, and then you have to pay it.
Yeah, I get those 2 mixed up. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're good. So yeah, the Celestial, you get to pick anything that's 4 or lower, which is why Coatls are amazing because they're 4, even though they punch way above their class.
Pretty much as a divine cleric, all I can do is Coraudal and Pegasus.
Mhm. So you have to maintain your concentration for it to stay here, and you have it for an hour.
Oh, could it go ahead and heal everybody too? That would be nice.
I mean, all you have to do is ask. I think it can. Let's see. Yeah, it can. We'll say. Yeah, we'll go with this. The first thing is cure wounds. And we will say that it will cure wounds of everybody that's taken damage thus far. And 5d8. I'll roll that. There you go. Everyone can heal 28 hit points. As it walks around and boops everybody.
Did you say 20?
28.
20.
28.
And Not Dave says, the grave, the World Cemetery is about, strangely enough, half an hour from here. So, is that where we're heading?
Depends on how safe this
Yes?
place is.
I would say it's the safest place ever, unless you intend harm. Then for you, it's probably going to be the most dangerous place ever.
We don't intend harm. At least not intentionally.
That's not what Tortuga's mind said.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Wait, what?
It sounded to me like you intended to steal something.
That's
Not
stealing
steal. That's when we got
anything.
you involved. That way we wouldn't have to steal it.
And how did you expect this to work?
We just need to look at something. Don't need to necessarily steal it.
Is it yours?
Technically, yes.
And you intend to take this thing that's in the cemetery and you want to take it from where it currently lies?
No.
You just want
Just
to
need
know
to
it's
see
there?
it.
Right.
We just need to see it.
And
Doesn't have
how-
to actually leave the place. We just need to, be able to read it.
Coatl seems a little bit confused by this. I understand what you're saying, but if this thing is in one of the crypts there, you're not going to be able to read it without removing it from its current place.
I mean, yes and no. Besides, maybe the nice Celestials will let us, take a peek. And, put everything back the way it was when we showed up. No harm, no
Ah.
foul.
So you're trying to sneak in past all the sentries
We are
guards, and then you
not
want
trying to
read it.
sneak in.
Oh, so you're just going to walk in and say, "Give it to me"?
I'm not going to say give it to me. We're just going to politely ask if we can see it. We're going to say yes because they're nice. And then we're going to read it, put it back, and then we're going to leave. And then it'll be like nothing ever happened. And everybody's happy.
Leave quickly. Leave very, very quickly.
Okay. Just for fun, let's do a little
Boy.
role play. So I'm standing at the front gate, and you've just walked up to me.
Hmm.
What do you say?
Yes, Tortuga, what do you say to the divine beings that will be patrolling this place?
I'm Tortuga, right? Yeah.
Yes, you. Oh, for the
Am I
love of
me
all
in the
things holy.
future, or am I me now?
You're you in general. Didn't you listen to the explanation of how time travel works?
I think I will say divine beings. Um, we need to look at a book that may be buried in with the celestial, and it's so we can save the universe.
Oh, the universe seems fine to me right now.
It's not.
Well, it won't be if we fail.
Oh, what's wrong with it?
Look at my mind again.
Again, I haven't looked at your mind so far.
And I think really hard at him.
And it looks
That's one way
through.
to do it.
Ah, you want to excavate something. Hmm.
Yeah, is there paperwork for that or something?
Well, only the person who put it there is able to retrieve it. As far as our paperwork is concerned.
That's going to be a bit of a problem, considering that the person that put it there is kind of dead in their timeline. Although, now that I think about it, though, wouldn't we have technically already done this if Magpie is dead?
Maybe
Noctave
we're
looks at you.
doing it now. I don't know. Time travel is
But
hard.
that doesn't seem right, though. Doesn't seem right.
It makes
Because
my
Chip
head
said
hurt.
that he's dead in this timeline, which means we would have already taken it, which means technically it wouldn't even be at that cemetery anymore, which means it has to be somewhere else. But if that's the case, then one of us technically should have known where it is. Which means it should already not be there.
Ah, Bill and Tedding it.
I don't know what that means.
Just pretend that in the past, we went back and did this thing and put this thing here so that right now in the future, the thing is there.
Sure.
Exactly.
I mean, the you think of them less as a good divine grave site. Think of them more as a business, family business.
That's supposed to mean.
And you'd understand that the cemetery, the reason they've lasted as long as they have is they have a reputation that once something is put to rest, it never comes back. And it stays in its final resting place. And you'd understand why they wouldn't allow anyone to retrieve anything just to be.
So then, how did Future Past us defeat Magpie in this timeline? Then, if the thing never left the, we just brute force him?
I don't know. I can't answer that for you.
Mm,
Why can't you? Because, Coriatal, celestial being, and all that.
I'm a celestial being. I know everything. I know a lot of things. I can figure a lot of things. By the very nature.
Curiosity. Did you guys ask anybody other than the squirrel about what happened with the whole magpie thing? Or was he just
No.
like, huh?
I mean, we probably did it, just didn't understand because, you know, it's a squirrel.
I heard you say squirrel. Chip looks up.
I meant when you guys got here, did you not check with anyone other than the talking squirrel to find out information about all of this?
They all think we're our future selves.
Uh-huh. And
But I mean, we're
out of
creators
curiosity,
heroes wherever we go, so there's that. So yay.
yeah, that's great and all, but my question is, do you think that anybody would have written about what actually happened?
We were on our way to check that when we checked the helm, that place, and then Guy Fieri Ball. Because we
Uh-huh.
thought those would be solid leads of, like, you know, recorded
Well, clearly
history of, like, what happened.
that is not.
Oh wait, actually, I think there
happened.
was like something the scroll said about like it's well known and recorded or blah 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 books and stuff or something. But it's not
Yeah,
like specific.
yeah. And Chip pipes up suddenly. It's really well known that the heroes of the realm defeated Magpie. They were successful. They overcame his evil deeds and they trapped him. They trapped him back where he could never come back from, escape from, get out of. They defeated him once and for all. And they became the heroes of the realm. And that's when I heard about them. And I thought, ooh, those sound like a fun group of people. And that's when I decided to come here and start talking with the fun group of people and to join the fun group of people. 'Cause if y'all could defeat Magpie, you could keep me safe from anything.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, because I tried to look a lot into this before I came and talked to you all, so I could have the best information about the heroes of the realm, so I could know the most and seem like the best person to travel with you all. Unfortunately, nobody but the heroes of the realm actually know exactly the details of how they defeated Magpie. That was by design, according to the heroes of the realm. In the book written by you, Sax, it was so that nobody wrote down the exact reasons and exact way it was done, so that nobody could actually know how to possibly reverse and he gets his face kind of twisted up and he looks back.
Reverse engineer.
Yeah, that's the one. See, you used all those big words in your book. No one could reverse that word. No one could do that to figure out how to get Magpie back again.
So he's not actually dead, is what you're telling me. He's just resealed.
I don't know.
You're just a bag of information.
My bag's on my hip. It doesn't have any information in there. It has a lot of things. It's where I keep my nuts. And he reaches into it and pulls out a little handful of cash.
Rather you not. No, this is getting us nowhere. There's a lot of
I
stuff
want to
that's not
think
adding
really,
up here.
really hard to myself.
You want to what? Tortuga?
I want to think.
Okay. You start thinking really hard.
I want to Bill and Ted it. I think. I think that after we win against Magpie, I'm gonna write down how he did it, and I'm gonna put it right here where we are standing, buried a foot down into the ground.
Okay. The ground is stone. You think very hard. And nothing feels different. What would you like to do?
beat through the stone and dig.
Okay.
Actually,
Uh,
thinking about it now, would that be why you told yourself to come to Fieri?
It could be. It could be indeed.
very possible. So,
Because I mean, I would assume your
Sometimes I'm
future self would
smart.
have known that your past self would have to do this in order for us to do what we're doing now. So, in order to keep this whole stable time loop thing going, which not sure how I feel about that because I'm fated to die in this whole thing. That we would have gone through all of this already.
Tortuga, you start bashing your way through the stone floor. You hear all of you start seeing a yeah. You hear a thwack thwack as Tortuga starts banging through the stone floor. A foot of stone, actually. And after hitting through the stone, a final hit, and you actually hear more of a hollow thud with your dust crusher. And you realize that there is a small treasure chest.
Holy crap, I did a
Well.
thing.
I mean, did you though? Did you? You want to open up the chest?
Oh, wait, I'm a high priest of Helm now. Celestial feces, I did a thing.
Wait, what?
Holy shit.
Yeah, I got that. My question is, why did he say it like that?
I just
Because-
realized I'm a high priest of Helm. I can't be using that type of language.
Yeah, but you've been a part of the whole helm thing for a while now, and that hasn't stopped you before.
I opened the chest.
The chest is locked.
For the love of all things holy, grr!
Dang it.
Yes.
Jet, do your thing.
Can you do the thing?
Who do you want me to kill?
No, the other thing, the one where you pick locks.
other
I keep,
thing.
I keep forgetting
other
that
thing.
you kill people too. So yes, the lock picking.
Sure, I can pick a lock.
Okay, go ahead and give me your sleight of hand checker. So as you go to pick this lock, you actually realize something, and you realize that not only is this lock very familiar to you and super easy to pick, but it's your own design. You don't even have to pick it, or terribly difficult, because you know the exact inner workings of it. So you open it, and inside the chest, there is a single note that is written more in what seems to be that demon language.
No. Can I read it?
You can. You read the note, and the note says, Tortuga, for the answers you seek, check the top drawer in your desk.
Tortuga. Out of curiosity, did you actually search your
Yes.
place before you came here? Or did you give up as soon as you saw the note?
I gave up as soon as I saw the note.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, this one says to check the top drawer in your office that you gave up. You saw the note.
I have questions.
So do I every day.
About 10 minutes so far has passed of your concentration on your spell with the Coatl.
Oh, dadgummit. Okay.
Also, Chip pipes up. Wasn't the note you wrote to yourself also in a top drawer in your desk?
Search through the chest again. Maybe there's something else better in there.
So, in the chest is also a lighter, one of the holy relics, a strange looking key,
Mhm.
and a single thigh bone.
That's weird. So there's the key and a thigh bone. Does the key look familiar to anyone here?
Not at all.
Wonderful.
Could
The
the
random.
thigh bone be the thigh bone of the previous high priest?
Oh.
Huh. Out of curiosity. He's your Quaddleford know about this whole cemetery thing or whatever?
Yes, a lot of
You
people
you
know
could
about
ask him.
them.
He's right here.
Yeah, but I feel like it's your spell, so it might only work with you.
I'm right
But
here.
fine. This key. Does it look like a key that might open one of the grave crypts thingies at the cemetery by chance?
Coatl looks at the key. I don't know. I've never been.
No. Just... I'm just gonna be over in the corner. If you guys need me, you can finish up here. You can finish up here.
Okay. Well, yeah. Let's just go to the place.
I
Oh,
guess we'll
okay.
bring the thigh bone with us.
Well,
Yeah,
we do have
we're
this.
taking the thigh bone with us. It's the it's the high priestess thigh bone. I got this feeling. I knew him so well. I know
Even
that
if it's
thigh
not the high
bone anywhere.
priest one, it might be just like a celestial thigh bone in general, which I mean, we could use as an excuse to get in and possibly use this key. That you guys probably put the stupid book back after all of this was said and done, which is why we have to go through all of this again.
Tortuga, you do notice. You can tell on the key that there is some celestial writing on it, which you just happen to know.
I do.
What does it say?
See that.
What does it say?
Does it say? You see that it has the number 777, written in Celestial on the head of the key.
It looks like we need to go to plot 777.
Um. Then, shall we?
Let's.
Good oak. Fairy Ball has just been kind of sitting in the corner watching you all, and he says, seeing you all leave, and he says, "Okay, I'll just fix my entire place myself."
I mean, you're welcome to come along with us if you'd like.
Good luck with that.
You know where to find me. No, it's okay. I don't. If y'all make your way back here, I'll assume that you survived where you're going, and everything will work out. If you don't make your way back here, I'll assume bad things happen and be happy I didn't travel with you. So, bye.
Fair enough.
I'm kind of regretting bringing you back from the dead now.
Yeah.
I could probably undo that, you know, if you gave us a reason to.
I'm sure you could try. Oh, this reminds
I'm
me.
sure all your attacks have a -4 right now.
Just about to say, I'm pretty sure we could actually take him.
He walks back into that other fourth room and comes back out, and he's holding a dagger. And he says, "I think this was for one of you. Never got
Gave
a
you
chance."
that like years ago.
You did. And you finally came back for it.
Be
Weird.
fair, I mean,
Here
ours
you go.
happened.
And he hands it to you.
Never did tell us what it was supposed to do, though.
Yeah, kind of strange. I have never seen that metal in my entire life. I have no idea what the purpose. It's definitely unique. There is definitely something that it can do, but it
Well, that's not
unfortunately
incredibly vague at all.
exceeds my current knowledge base.
It does something.
So I'm saying, like, oh, don't say. Don't say.
I tried to identify what it was, and then it started making my eyes bleed, so I stopped.
Oh, that can't be healthy.
I tried seeing if I could dispel anything, but anything I attempted to cast on it found itself being counterspelled. I tried destroying it, but anything I tried to destroy it, if I tried using fire, the fire would get extinguished. If I tried plunging it into acid, the acid would evaporate. If I tried cutting it with something else, that other thing would end up breaking. If I tried to use it,
You want me
cut
to try to
anything-
lick it?
I feel like you shouldn't. Just said how it ended everything that, no, tried to do anything to it, so probably not a good idea.
Yeah, I. Glad y'all are here, and you can take this off my hands because it spooky. Not gonna lie.
Oh, that's a little concerning.
I tried to get rid of it, found its way back to me. I'd place it in one place, I'd go to sleep, I'd wake up the next day, and it would be in a different spot than I left it. However, anytime I went to look for it, there it was, right there.
Guess we'll take the dagger then.
Please. He hands it to you, and you do notice that he's kind of holding it with a silk wrap. Cloth that he's touching the dagger with. And he hands it to you with the cloth. Here you go. Enjoy.
Wonderful. So I'll have to figure out what this thing does the hard way.
Well, we better skedaddle because it's looking like rain around here.
What does that even mean? But yes.
Oh.
Thanks for all your help, Fairy Ball.
Anytime.
And sarcasm here.
I've missed it.
Uh-huh. Okay. Bye.
Honestly, one has to wonder why you even told your future self to come here. Or your past self to come here.
I think I know why now. I have a calling.
Oh, what you're calling.
As we walk away from the place, I want to cast Control Weather and make it rain T-Rexes on top of his house.
That seems on brand, actually. Still weird that it rains dinosaurs here and nobody seems to think that's strange.
Give me a charisma check. Oh, people think it's strange, but it's almost one of those, it's been strange for so long, people just kind of take it for granted. So you cast Control Weather as you're leaving?
When we get far enough away that it won't cause dinosaurs to hurt us.
Okay.
That's good.
You actually hear a loud thud, thud, vibrate. You almost swear you hear in the background Fairy Ball yell, Tortuga! You don't know.
Classic Tortuga.
Okay, so you all make your way over to the. Now there's about 20 minutes remaining on your concentration here. Coatl. Hold on one moment. Sorry about that. So yeah, you all make your way there. And this one. So get there, and the first thing you notice is the place is impossibly, not impossibly as in like Doctor Who impossibly, but quite large. See that there is a large, almost looks like a warehouse, single floor warehouse, but quite large. You can't tell actually how big it is just from where you're standing. But you see at the front there is a set of doors, and there are two children standing in front of the door.
Did you say two children?
I did.
Barely hear you.
Sorry. Let me fix this. Yes. There are two children that are standing in front of the door from where you can tell. So you pull up in your T-Rex carriage. As soon as you get there, you see that double door with those two kids there. Uh-oh. What was it? See if this breaks again. It does. Look at that. No, it does not. Whatever. But yes, so that is currently what you see. You're a good distance away. I'd probably say about 60 to 70 feet away from this front entrance. But as you pull up, that's what you're able to tell is there. There we go.
Are they like
Tortuga,
creepy children or happy children?
Can't tell from the distance you're currently at.
Oh,
But Tortuga, you can tell. Like as soon as you get there, you actually get you feel a sense of reverence while you're there. Like you are definitely entering a very, very, very holy, like consecrated ground.
I'm getting tingly.
I have creams for that.
Maybe that's what he was supposed to see a doctor about.
Possibly.
Mm.
Chip suddenly pipes up. I'm a squirrel. I don't need a doctor. It's one of the many joys of being a squirrel.
Noted.
I wave to the kids.
They look at you. And you can tell. You feel their gaze piercing as you wave towards them. They hold up a hand. They wave in unison back. And they go back to just staring straight ahead.
I'll walk up and say hello to the kids.
Okay, so you get out of the carriage and you start walking the 60, 70 feet towards the kids. Does anyone follow Tortuga or y'all just watch what happens?
I mean, I guess might as well follow him.
Okay. So you make your way with Tortuga. Both Sax and Tortuga start going there. Anyone else, either Tekken or Gur?
Wait, what?
Are you going to follow Tortuga towards the creepy kids?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay. As you do that, Chip jumps onto your shoulder again, Tekken. And Gur, are you going to follow with the rest of the
Watch
group?
out, Chip. That didn't end well for the last person that did it.
Yeah, I'll follow
times.
along.
Okay. So, everybody makes their way towards it. Towards that front entrance. The coatl follows along as well. And you make your way to the front. Those two kids are, and you, Tortuga, get a weird feeling. A weird sense. Like, again, as you step further on, you start feeling more and more reverence for the area that you're on. The ground seems not only magically consecrated to you, but also you can feel that there is definitely a divine power that is at work here. As soon as you get there, the two children look up at you, one boy, one girl, and in unison say, "State your business." They're looking straight at you, Tortuga.
Kids who talk together freak me out. Like not Tortuga, but me as Lee. That
Mm.
kind of thing freaks me out.
Hmm.
Just throwing that out
You
there.
must love horror movies then.
I'll keep that in mind then. If it bothers you, I can switch it up to something else.
We have the bone. We need to lay it to rest.
Ah. The bone? Is
The
that-
bone. And I say it reverently.
Reverently.
Can you just...
This is gonna go well.
There are many bones here. You're saying the bone. The bone of...
The bone. The bone. You know. The bone.
Are you gonna show them the bone that you keep referring to, or what?
I'm not. It's the bone. They should
Fantastic.
know the bone.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, we're not expecting the bone today. Can you give me a persuasion?
No one
check,
is ever
Tortuga?
expecting the bone.
Phrasing. And also, why don't you just ask him about the plot? You have a key.
Reverently.
So the two people, the kids at the front door, look at you, Tortuga, and say, "I'm sorry. We don't actually know anything about a bone, but you seem quite insistent. Do you have an appointment with the front desk? So, give me.
I show them the bone. Oh wait,
Look at
what?
the bone. I was gonna
Sorry.
say. Should have thought about this ahead of time. So. That does seem to be a very unique bone.
The bone.
Go on in and you can speak to the front desk. And the two kids both knock in unison on that front door, and it slowly, with a creak, slides aside. And you are able to get a glimpse inside of this building, and it is incredibly opulent. It reminds you of kind of a mix between what might be considered one of the best art museums in the world and one of the most decorated holy sites in the world. It looks like an incredibly nice mix of church on the inside, plus giving the feeling of temple, a holy site, all at the same time. Plus, like I mentioned, it seems almost like also set up like it is an art museum. There's a lot of items that you can see on the walls that are kind of hung up. They've got little signs next to each of them describing what they are. But it seems strangely devoid of anyone right now. So, very large room. At the center of the room, there is a desk. There's a single person sitting at the desk. And yeah, there's just the art that's all around the walls. The entire inside, the floor looks like it's inlaid with gold. You look up and the ceiling looks very, which is strange because you remember when you walked in, it was almost like one floor that was kind of a flat roof. But you look when you get inside, and it almost looks like the ceiling is vaulted and painted. There's stained glass actually on the ceiling itself that's been placed up there. The walls themselves, the walls are themselves painted, and then on that is where some different. You're getting the feeling important relics are hung. Those are the ones that have like little plates next to them that are describing what they are. But yeah, so in the center of this room there is a desk, and there is a single person sitting at this desk. It is also 1 in the morning, so I'm not sure if you all want to end it for here for the night. Or we could keep on going for a little bit. It's your choice.
I mean, it's probably fine as long as you don't run into any battles. But I mean, JCP was pretty tired when we started, though. So
Yeah, that's why I was thinking.
kind of up to
Sure.
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
In a new location, it might be a good time to call it for the night. We can pick up from here next time.
Yep.
Okie dokie.
All right,
Cool
night,
deal.
guys.
Night,